Well, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thank you. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you for having me.
It is our absolute pleasure. So basically, today we just want you to tell us about your success story and just participate in our success story series. This is our second installment, and we had the first one with Dr. Yurika Mohani. You can find it on our YouTube channel. So I'm just going to ask you three questions. I think we should be done in the next 20 minutes. Yes. So firstly, I'd like you to tell us who Dr. Nkambule is and what you do and your journey to where you are today.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Untatile, for inviting me, having me in this series. It is quite exciting. I don't think we're doing these things when we're at varsity. So you guys are really having fun there. I'm sure that when you get out of university, you would have done and achieved so much. Briefly, who am I? It's a very difficult question to answer because then at times it may sound like you are going to be, hitting your own drum, but yeah, who am I? Okay, it depends on what's more important. But perhaps maybe start at professional level. I'm a manager or a head of a division at a government agency. So I'm a full-time working person. The organization that I work for, it provides funding for small businesses as well as those that want home loans. So I'm heading that division at Mpumalanga Economic Growth Agency in Mpumalanga province, looking at the entire province, providing support. It's also an organization that provides investment support as well as property development, properties, industrial parks, if people want to establish a business and they need industrial space. I am a graduate from the University of Limpopo, did my BCom there, and went on to UNISA and did an honors degree there. And then I went on to do an MBA at Mankosa. And then I did a PhD in theology with the University of Northwest, Potchefstroom campus. So, but I also did a diploma in theology first before I did the PhD in theology. I'm a mother of four, 2 older children and 2 younger ones, and also a servant of God. I serve God, I love God with my whole heart. And I'm a wife, of course, to one husband, as they say when they're on the pulpit. I'm also an author. I write and I also publish books. I have written 6 books already. It's actually 7. The 7th one is in a free ebook, but it's also a book. I've written 5 English books, and then I translated the 6th one from one of those books into Zulu. So practically, I've got 6 published books. And I also publish for other people. I've published quite countless, actually. I think more than 10 that I've published already for other people. So in the main, this is who I am. I love supporting young girls. I love the story of a young girl. There's a book, one of the favorite books that I've written is titled Dear Girl Child. And this is the heart of the Father of God towards the young girls and women and even the older ones. Roughly that is who I am, or briefly, that is who I am.
Thank you very much. That is so commendable. So many things you've done. Also, I'd like to ask, you mentioned that you're an author and you told us the inspiration behind one of your books. Can I just ask what inspired the other books that you wrote?
Sure. My titles are so different. I'm not one of those that write focusing on one specific area. My first book is a general book. It's titled From the Pit to the Palace. It is a book that encourages people to focus on their dreams and to push their dreams. It is all my books are Christian-based, and it's taken from the story of Joseph in the Bible, who was sold by his brothers, and he ended up in Egypt, and he was waiting for them there. And God prospered him, and he became a ruler there in Egypt. So it's a general book for everyone. The second book that I wrote is titled Victorious Youth, and that is for young people of all ages, as long as you are still under the 35 year threshold. And it came from the experience of my raising children. And when they became teenagers, and I looked at the kind of issues that they were going through, your peer pressure, dealing with anger, your relationship with parents. So there's quite a lot of topics that talk to a young person in totality. And I was inspired by raising young ones. And the other one is titled Confessions of a Parent. It's on the other side of the young people is me being a parent now. It is a prayer book for parents where we begin to confess positive things to our young people. And then one of the favorites, Dear Girl Child, as I said, inspired by God, and it is a message for us as women, you as a young girl, and even myself as an older person. And the last one is titled The Bride of Jesus, and it is specifically for the church, and it is looking at the kind of issues that the church, the Christian church, is facing, and encouraging believers to continue believing in God despite the issues that we face. And then, of course, the translation of Dear Girl Child into Zulu, and it is titled Ntombazana Ethandekayo.
I appreciate your love for young girls. It's so beautiful. Can I just ask again? I would like to ask what advice you'd love to give young girls who want to, study further, because I think in the time that we live in, there's just so much pressure to just be done with school and be independent and just figure out what's on the other side of life. So just for young girls who just want to get to where you are, what advice would you give them in terms of studying until, I guess, a PhD level and further pursuing such interesting things as yourself?
Well, it all starts with your own vision, really. What is it that you want to do? Because if you look at what other people are doing, you might end up doing a whole lot of things and get nowhere. So what's important for every young person, girls and boys, have a vision. Know what you want. And know that some visions may be things that you desire, but you may not necessarily achieve them, but you would have tried doing that. But what's important is, where are you going as a person? Once you've decided that, then you pursue it. If you want to study until PhD before you get to work, that is still an option you can pursue. If it is your vision, then pursue it. But it is important, if you're going to go to PhD, that you at least do something else on the side. Because when you get out of university with a PhD and no experience, it is very difficult to really get into the job market if you want to get into, or if you want to apply for a job. So the first important thing is your vision. Where are you going? How do you see your future? Where do you want to go? What is it that you want to achieve in life? And the second thing is, there'll always be obstacles. Even if you can drive on a tar road, there will always be somewhere where it's a little bit of a ditch. There will always be a little corner there. There will always be a sharp curve there where you've got to reduce your speed. So life is just like that. You may find a gravel road that is a little bit smooth, but you may find a very bad one. So as a young person, when you grow up, you are shielded by the people around you, your family, your relatives, your neighbors, your teachers. Everyone is shielding you. But when you step out of that shield, you'll realize that there's a whole lot of things that you've got to fight for yourself. you come into society that doesn't care who you are. So you must actually be prepared that there'll be battles, and some of these battles are not personal. They are just battles that you've got to be able to learn whether I need to break this thing in front of me or I need to go around it. But sometimes we get stuck looking at a challenge and a problem in front of us that we actually don't think that I can actually do it differently. Let me give you an example. I grew up having a vision of becoming a chartered accountant, right? So hence I did the BCom, the honors and the MBA and all those things. But when I got to serve my articles, I realized that there were some challenges that I could not be able to deal with. And therefore, I branched out of the CA route. And I went into simple business management. And I said to myself, what is the highest then qualification that I can get this side? I went for the MBA. Then I branched out and did theology. And I said, what's the highest qualification? I did a PhD. So in the end, I've satisfied the desire of my getting an education. And in that process, I've gotten into 3 different streams, accounting as a basic, and business management in the middle, and theology towards the end. So the hurdles and the challenges of life made me to think back and say, what else can I do? Or which way can I go? So as a young person, don't think that life is all good. Life will give you challenges. Let me just be honest with you. You'll get to work and you think that I'm actually the best. You come out of an environment where you're probably number 1 in class, all celebrated. You went to varsity, you were still top student, getting all those honors and all of those things. You get to a workplace, people don't care that you're a straight A student that got all those medals at school. They want you to do the work. And you get there, you'll find that there are people that have been doing the same thing for a long time. They may not understand you. So as a young person, as you pursue your vision, know that there will be challenges. Find a way of dealing with those things. Young people, some of them are depressed these days because they cannot be able to deal with the challenges of life that they come across. They are depressed. Some, of course, it is your imbalances in their systems, but it is triggered by challenges that they face. And they then get depressed, some commit suicide because of the issues of life. And if you were to ask all of us in the whole wide world, you'll actually realize that there are people that have more difficult situations and circumstances in their lives than you've actually ever imagined there would be. So there is always somebody that has a worse story than yourself. So have a vision, be prepared to deal with the challenges that we come across. The third one, have a support system. And your support system is not necessarily your friends. It's not always your friends. Sometimes you want your friends to be cheerleaders. They may not be there to cheer you on. But if you know that, for example, I want to go into that career, you need to find people in that career path that could be your support structure. In your family, there may be those people that are far away from you, but they're still relatives that may actually cheer you on. It may be a neighbor. It may be a stranger that you may actually get to know. What's important is to know that no man is an island. You need people around you, but be careful of the kind of people that you have, because some people will only be there to cheer you on even if you're running straight into a ditch. And they will not tell you that you are going too fast or there's trouble ahead of you. Some people will actually not want you to succeed. But what's important is who is in your circle, and are they good people? Because those are the people that when you have trouble, you'll have somebody to pick up a call and assist you, maybe give you advice, or even just be a shoulder to cry on. So 3 things: have a vision, be prepared for the obstacles, and have a support structure. The rest of the other things you'll be able to manage. Thank you.
Those are so many golden tips. And lastly, you mentioned that you're a professional, you're a public servant, an author and publisher, and you're also a servant of God. amongst all those things and being a mother and a wife, can I just ask, how do you strike a balance between doing all of that and still living your own life?
You've got to cherish each and every one of those compartments of your life. I can't be in church all the time, and I can't be mommy all the time. I've got to be wife as well. So it's very important that you cherish everything. One of the mistakes that, for example, servants of God do, they stay in church all the time, and you'll find the pastor's kids, they call them PKs, hating the church because they will say, my father has not seen me growing up. You find that as a pastor, you love the congregants more than you love your own children. Not that you love them more, but you show them love to the congregants more than you show to your own children. So I'm saying appreciate each and every one of the aspects of your own life. You've got to have a job or a business. Set time. I'm going to work at 8. I need to be home by 6 o'clock or by 5 o'clock to be with my children. I need to take care of myself. As I grow older, I realize that I put so much effort on my career and neglected myself. So today I'm able to say I'm not going to be able to attend that meeting. I've got to go to the gym because I need to take care of me. So you've got to love each and every one of those. If my job needs me today because something is urgent, I can then be able to say, okay, I won't go to the gym today. I'm going to go tomorrow because I also love my job equally as taking care of myself physically. So you would be able to strike that balance if you love everything that is a part of your life. You've got to know that the congregants need your attention, or the believers, the brothers and sisters also need your attention, but your husband also need your attention if you're married. And also your studies, also your studies. One of the mistakes that I did when I did my PhD was I studied for so long, spent so much time, and didn't take care of my physical being. And in the end, I came out with a PhD and a situation in my physical being that was a little bit messed up. So I could have studied and exercised at the same time, but I didn't. I did the studies only. But, we learn lessons in life. And I know that if I were to do another PhD, I would know that if I have to study for 2 hours, I must have had breaks in between, stretch, exercise, do some kicks here, and do some punches there, and then get back to study. So love everything that you are about and take care of yourself as well. And you'll find that balance.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nkambule. Thank you so much for those many golden tips. We appreciate your time here with us. And I think that is all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.